Let's get some questions answered. Packers rookies and quarterbacks reporting yesterday. Harry, is Jordan Love set to become a top 10 quarterback in the league this year?
Without a doubt, Greeny, I love the way his last 12 games finished. That's including the playoffs, over 2,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions. I think in 2024, what a lot of people want to see more so this season is him do it for a duration of an entire season. Not the last 12 games, but the entire 17, including the playoffs. But Jordan Love is well on his way.
Bartholomew, a lot of people keeping an eye on the Houston, Texas.
Okay, well, let's talk about Jordan Love. I think it's so cut and dry with Jordan Love. I really, really do. I know we're obsessed with this idea that quarterbacks with like a one-hit wonder type thing, and I've pointed that out a lot over the last few months of how we have sometimes these quarterbacks kind of they look great and then they kind of crap out. We've seen that with a lot of backup quarterbacks as well. But there's a difference when that happens with these quarterbacks. A lot of times when a quarterback appears to be better than they actually are, if you actually watch the games, you can see, oh, wow, that should have been picked off. Or, oh, wow, he threw the ball 15 yards down the field, and then a defender maybe fell down or whatever it may be, and the wide receiver was able to rip off another 40, 50 yards. Oh, wow, they actually have been playing they played 3 teams in a row that have awful bottom 10 defenses. Or, oh, wow, this team has an insane offensive line, and they're buying him just 5 minutes a snap practically. He's got all the time in the world. He has a really sneaky, great run game, a consistent run game, right? There's all these other variables that you can really kind of contribute and say, okay, this guy's doing a pretty good job at quarterback, without a doubt, but he's having a lot of gifts go his way. Or, as I've highlighted this plenty, there's this great offensive coordinator, and I think back 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years or so, I think people were just a little bit less in touch with coordinators, defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, QB coach, those types of things. I think over the more recent years, coaches have gotten more popular and cooler, so to speak. I think because of the McVays, right? It's there was this new trend for these younger, sharper looking GQ type, coaches that it made coaching, I think, a little bit cooler. And now, I think for the longest time also is that the massive fan base of the NFL has always been a mix of really older people and then younger people. And I think the 25 to 45 demographic is really starting to dominate. They're just dominating the world as a whole because it's the bulk, right? These are the people that are starting to make the decisions out in the workforce. They're doing stuff. And now we're seeing all those younger people be coaches now. And I think it's now more connected to the youngish 25 to 45-year-old fan base because they're oh, that guy's my age now. And I think it's a pretty interesting full circle experience for a younger fan who is starting to get older. Right? They see themselves more as a Sean McVay rather than maybe say a 22-year-old athlete now. So just that's just my own little theory. And so I think we were overlooked the greatness of a lot of coaches and coordinators for that matter. And the reason why I'm saying all of this is because Jordan Love was able to be wildly successful, and he didn't have just endless gifts. He didn't have an endless platter of amazing things that he could just sit there and take advantage of. The Packers are a great team, and they're starting to build that platter of gifts that Jordan Love will be able to take advantage of. But make no mistake about it, he did not step up into a 49ers, Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo type of situation. The best gift he has, and I've said this a million times now, is Matt Lefleur. Again, when we have some of these quarterbacks who kind of have a one-hit wonder 2-year window, maybe where they're looking really good and not, a lot of times they have a defensive head coach or their coach is pretty good, but not next level, right? Not the type of coach that can really troubleshoot, that maybe when there is some film on the quarterback, they know how to help their quarterback evolve and get to that next level. Sure, they can get them to play at a pretty good level or maybe go from average to good, but they can't get them to go from good to great or great to elite. That's what separates the elite coaches and the great coaches from just the pretty darn good coaches, right? To me, that's where a McCarthy steps up. McCarthy is a good coach, and he can maybe even make an average quarterback be a good quarterback, but he can't make someone go good to great or great to elite. Just my perspective. That's not who Lefleur is. I think the fact that Jordan Love has Lefleur and they're now attached to one another, right? They are the quarterback coach duo. That is what's setting up Jordan Love for true levels of success, right? He has it. I mean, that is such a massive luxury. We know this. We see this, especially in the more recent era of the NFL. Great quarterbacks have great coaches. I fully believe Matt Lefleur is a great coach, and so I really think that the sky is the limit for Jordan Love, mainly because of that than anything, because he has the environment and the situation and his own personal skill set to be able to succeed, right? They're not hiding Jordan Love's weaknesses and just trying to do their best, right? They're not putting a lipstick on a pig there, and it's not just Matt LaFleur's genius that's just kind of like making LaFleur or making Love kind of, survive. It's that Love is really great and he's with a great coach and they have a young team that's up and coming. And again, that's just a recipe for true success. It's just hard for me to see otherwise. It's hard for me to see that magically Jordan Love just ends up being like not a good quarterback or just an average quarterback. I understand people keep wanting to point out, oh, well, he only did this for the last 10 games. It was his first year as a starter. Like, I don't understand what people don't understand about that. Like, there was a lot of issues with the Packers team in the beginning of the season. It took a minute or two for them to get kind of, hit the ground running. Like, that happens. It happens to a lot of teams. Okay, it happened to the literal Kansas City Chiefs. So, like, let's not, I mean, we love to emphasize that and use it as a dig for Jordan Love, but, like, most quarterbacks do not play 16, 17 straight games of pure brilliance. It just doesn't happen. Again, not even Tom Brady, not Peyton Manning, not Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's just not what happens. So, this idea that for some reason we're going to, like, knock Jordan Love for that is just, I don't know, it's just, to me, it's getting old. And I get it mainly because that's all we have to go off of. And so there's not new games being played. So they just keep relying on that as a talking point, which I do get, right? For the sake of argument, I do understand. But at this point, it's getting old, And it's like anytime I make a Jordan Love video and I say, oh, I think Jordan Love's going to be great, this, that, and the third, you get comments where they're like, he only did it for 10 games. Or, oh, so what? He had one good playoff game where he beat the Cowboys. And it's like, okay, guys, there's a difference between someone having one good game or one great game and one person showing in a game that they are truly great. There's a difference between having a great game and showing people that you are indeed great. And I think what Jordan Love showed in some of these one great games, that he is great. I think that is what he demonstrated. You have to just really watch. Let go of the stats. Let go of it. Let go of the box score. This is where the eye test to me is superior. Just watch the game. Just watch it unfold. See why they won. See why Jordan Love was successful. And the eyes will tell the truth in that instance. I really firmly believe that. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think Jordan Love is set up for this season to be a top 10 quarterback, or dare I say even a top 5 quarterback? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.